Table for two, please.
Hello and welcome back to Table for Two. This week we're going to be talking about our experiences at airports. Since we have family on the other side of the world, we traveled a lot to go see them, pre-COVID of course.
But all of those flights have created some memorable experiences, and we hope they'll make you laugh or cringe or whatever.
Alright, so I remember we had a layover in Singapore, okay? Mm-hmm. And we were pretty young, like we were under 10, and my sister's only a year and a half older than me, so she's also really young too. My mother left us outside near this like playground thing so she could go to the restroom and take a dump. She was taking a long time, as dumps do. We went into the bathroom and we went, Emma, with like the bathroom is super loud, right? So obviously my mom could hear, so we were like, she left us, we're lost.
Oh, no.
So we went to airport person and we were like, we lost, help find mommy. And my mom's name was all over the intercom. They were like, so and so, come fetch your children. And my mom came running and she was so disappointed in us. She was like, bro, I told you to wait, what happened? So yeah, that's the first of the many poop stories we're gonna tell today. So
I don't think I've ever gotten lost at an airport. I know that we've collectively gotten confused, but generally the directions are pretty direct.
Straightforward, yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten lost because we always take turns going to the bathroom, because usually it's my mom and my brother and me when we go travel, and it's just two of us stay, one of us goes to the bathroom. Alright, so I remember because both of us have taken, international flights, right? Mm-hmm. And so they'll have the little screen on the back of the seat. I would play, the rip-off Candy Crush or, Jewel Crush or whatever on, the seat TV. Mm-hmm. And once I got to, such a high level, I'd been playing for, 6 hours straight, because I can't sleep on planes at all.
Same.
So I was just, I was playing. I watched Jumanji, 6 times in one flight. It was, because none of the other movies looked good, or all of them were R-rated or something, so I was I'm not looking at that. But there was one time where instead of flying American Airlines, we flew Canada Air. And it was the worst experience I've ever had flying. We had a 30-minute layover in Toronto, mm-hmm. right? And then we were gonna fly directly to Taiwan, and the baggage line, the security thing, it was so long. As soon as we got on a flight, we had to sit there and wait, and the line was it was wiggly, I couldn't tell which way it was. Are we going forward, are we going backward? It was that confusing. And then it was so long, and we had to literally sprint across the airport to get to the gate, and I had to use the restroom really, really bad, but I couldn't because we were sprinting. If I pooed, then I'd be left in Toronto.
Speaking of the worst flight ever, I think the worst flight for me was my sophomore year coming back to America flight, okay? To give you context, I was running on a 103 fever. It was 2 days before school started, because we were originally planning to come after school started, but apparently they unenroll you if you don't show up on the first day. Oh. So we had to get back, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm running a 103 fever. I was sitting in the Chennai airport and I was shivering. I had cold chills, and the jacket I brought wasn't doing it, and I was just sitting there and this literal child was sitting next to me Mama, is she okay? I'd be no, man. But yeah, I had a 103 fever, okay? This is the first time that my sister and I are traveling alone on an international flight. So we were already very stressed out and confused. And on top of that, because my parents thought my sister was irresponsible, I had to hold all the passports and important documents. So I was there shivering and guarding this backpack. Okay. And I also have dietary restrictions. I'm allergic to egg and sesame seed. So I couldn't eat a lot of airplane food, and I don't know, I can't really read other languages, so I couldn't even check the ingredients. So I did not eat anything for 24 hours on an international trip on a 103 fever while shaking.
Oh.
I was starving, but I lost like 5 pounds. So I was like back to my OG weight because obviously when you visit your family, you always gain weight because of good food, baby. We came back. I'm starving. Like, I am hungry, okay? I'm like about to pass out. And like we did pack snacks, like traditional snacks, but I forgot which ones had sesame seeds. So I did not know. So I literally could not eat
risk
anything.
It. You can't risk it.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw up on flight. So
those barf bags look like they're gonna break as soon as like a drop of saliva hits them. You know, I kept one of them. I have a barf bag without barf in it, of course. Like, there's no barf.
Like,
I'm not like,
it's really niche. We arrived 3 hours away from the city that I actually live in, and it was already like 6 or 7 p.m. So we had to take the trip back up to my place. And that means getting food, potty breaks, and everything. So we came back at literally midnight on the day sophomore year started.
Oh.
So I got a whopping 5 hours of sleep on a 103 fever while shaking, and I went to school the next day because I had to go to school. Otherwise, I'd be unenrolled.
Wow.
That was the best flight of my life. I don't know about you guys.
Wow. I mean, I haven't had any like complications coming back. Sometimes when I went, I would go like towards the end of the school year, and sometimes the flights were scheduled like directly like on the last day of school or like on the last week of school. So one time I remember I woke up in the middle of the night and I had like hives. I have allergic reactions to food as well, but I didn't eat anything I wasn't supposed to. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just like itchy. But then I just went to school in that because I didn't want to tell my mom for some reason. So I just went to school in long sleeves. Yeah, and I just suffered the entire day. And then when we went outside, like, later on, my mom was like, roll up your sleeves. You know, American summers are, like, terrible. Yeah, I rolled up and there was hives. My mom was like, what is this? And like, she was like, why didn't you tell me and stuff? And then basically, like, literally the next day, we had to go on a flight. So, like, my hives weren't, like, completely healed, so they were just like, I was just kind of like suffering in the plane as well. So
oh my gosh.
Once I brought, you know, like the naked juice, you know, those little like they look like boxes. So I brought a mango juice and I got some sushi. The sushi was really good, by the way, to eat on a plane. And so I ate it on the plane. I drank the juice on the plane and all. When I got home, I just went to sleep. I took a shower, went to sleep because I was really tired. And then when I got back, and then in the middle of the night, I woke up and barfed. Like, I just, like, went to the toilet, and I wasn't feeling well. I sat on it, and I was like, nah, this calls for, like, number 3, man. So I just barfed. And then I walked in my mom's room, like, you see when, like, the little kids memes, like, Mom, I threw up. You know, those little kid memes, like, in the doorway? Yeah, so I just walked in my mom's room. I was like, Mommy, I threw up. So then I tested the theory that it was the juice that made me puke. Because the sushi didn't have anything raw in it. You know, it was like, you know, the imitation crab meat sushi. I tested the theory that it's the juice that made me puke. So when I got to Costco, and then I told my mom to get, like, you know, the 24, 36, or whatever multiple of 12 pack of the naked juice. I drank a mango one, and then I had diarrhea. So
it's the naked juice.
It's the naked juice.
Whenever we were traveling to India, we typically do a layover in Dubai, okay? And obviously you have duty-free shopping, which is just tax-free shopping for people who don't know. And
oh, it's tax-free?
I think so, is it not?
I don't know,
but I think that's what it is.
I thought that was just like the brand name of like airports and stuff.
Duty-free. I don't know. I was just very fascinated with duty-free shopping, I guess.
There's like nothing useful there though, because you've already packed all that.
No. It's like shopping, you know. They have
you mean like
things there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would always buy dates for my grandpa because he would love dates from Dubai because they're very tasty apparently. But I hate dates. Another experience I remember is just, like, airplane bathrooms are so scary for no reason.
I feel like we get, like, sucked in and, like, shat out of the plane. I used to think that it was just, like, a tube to the sky, like the toilet. And if I fell in, it was over. Airplane toilets, they're so intense.
Just next level.
They're like...
And there's not even any like water, so if someone like pooped before you, that poop is stuck to the side of the toilet.
And then you know how small it is? It's like literally a 2 by 2 foot little
so
closet.
small.
And like the sink is right there. Sometimes the sink is a little too high. So when I was little, the sink was too high for me to reach. So I'd be like, wash. And then like the toilet, when you press the button, like I swear I can feel the toilet residue springing up. It's so gross. Because they suck down the stop. I think they have to use so much suction. You know, they can't make the toilet hole as big as they do, like in normal bathrooms, because the plumbing's different, right? So I think that's why they have to like suck it down so hard, so it's like.
No. Oh, another bathroom thing is one time I think it's the same like Singapore airport again, and my sister got locked in the bathroom. Like the lock wouldn't open after, and they were calling everyone to start boarding the flight, and our group was up. And, like, it was, like, final call, and I was panicking because I was like, where's my mom? Where's my sister? Where did they go? So I, like, picked up all of our luggage as, like, a 60-pound scrawny child, and I walked to the bathroom. I was like, what's happening? And my sister was, like, crawling out from under the toilet. She had to get out for like that, and I was just like, what the heck is going on? It was such a weird thing to witness.
Why did it take so long though?
I assume they didn't want to like slide over the
that's
bathroom.
That's true. You know how they have like the rate your experience sort of like kiosk thing in the bathroom? Like, why do they put that in the bathroom? Am I supposed to rate like the flushability of your toilets? Like, why not put it like outside in like the boarding area, you know?
Who knows? They wanted bathroom feedback. You're gonna give them bathroom feedback.
Rate how good my poop
When
is.
you pooped, did the water hit you? Yes or no? Did the bathroom smell? Yes or no? How tolerable was the smell?
Yes or no?
Okay. Literally though, it was so nice when you got to sit.
I know.
The opportunity.
It's like I've been sitting for 20 hours, but I need to sit some more.
It's so good. It's like godsend. But yeah. Another thing, but like the best thing is like when you actually like find your family in the crowds and they're like, and you're like, and it's like you meet together. It's like a movie scene. You're like running to each other.
But like in reality, it's like 3 sleep-deprived zombies literally going like, oh hey.
You're like,
and then the family's like, woo! And you're
did
like,
you get food?
Yeah.
I'm hungry. My grandmother would always pack like a whole like full course meal, and I would just sit and eat.
We'd have to like take like the taxi and like drive back to my grandma's house, and she'd always make like xifan, which is like the congee, whatever. Congee, I think.
But like, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd eat it and I'd be like, yeah, dinner! And then I'd go up to the top floor, but then since it was like nighttime in Taiwan and daytime in America, I'd be like, it's time for me to get up and going. And then I couldn't sleep. And I'd be like full of food and I'd be like, because like my brain function is like terrible because I haven't slept in like 30 hours by this point. Because I don't sleep like the night before flights. I'm too excited.
Same. I get that.
So I'm like this sleep deprived child that can't sleep. And I'm like, woo.
I remember I had like a really bad case of like, what's it called? Jet lag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was already like, we came for personal reasons already, so it was like not very fun, you know, it wasn't like a, you know, normal trip.
Vacation.
And I had to stay up a lot. I couldn't fall asleep in the first place, but I would also like stay up all the time. And it was like, I think 6 or 7 days in the trip. I haven't slept properly at all. And then I just pass out. I passed out at 2 p.m. and I woke up at 11 p.m. and I was actually supposed to go back with my grandfather to like the apartment, but I passed out and I would not like wake up either.
Oh.
So I was sitting there and I was like, I'm hungry. Yeah, but it was a very good sleep, very well deserved.
One time I fell asleep like I was taking the high-speed rail in Taiwan, and since like it's like the airport, it's like the airplane, there's not a lot of space to like, there's more space on the airport honestly than the airport honestly, because the seats are bigger in the train, but like there's no like place for me to like rest my head to sleep. I can either go like this and expose my saliva and drool to everybody in the train, or I can like just try to sleep like with my head hidden, but there's no like tray in the front. Or there was, but it wasn't big enough to, like, you know, slide. And I had my luggage in front of me. So I put my arm onto the seat rest and I laid my head. And I woke up, like, probably, like, an hour or two later. And my arm wouldn't move. It was numb. And I was like, shit, is my arm dead? And I was, like, trying so hard to move it. I was like...
I know, I hate jet lag.
And then this is what I thought I was doing, but my arm was just like this. And then I was like, looking really intensely at my arm, and my mom was like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "It's not waking up." And then I touched it with my other hand. I couldn't feel anything in this hand, and I was like, "Ah!"
Mini panic attack.
Yeah, but then eventually I just slapped it enough, so I was like, "I feel the slapping," and I was like, "Oh, I can move it again." It was the worst thing that's ever happened to me on a train. I farted on a train before.
Another thing that's really annoying is, like, you already have the belt. You have the headphones to the TV, and then, like, sometimes you put a blanket or, like, a jacket or whatever else. And then, like, someone was like, I need to go to the bathroom. And then you'd have to, like take off the mess of wires and plastic bags and all sorts of things, and you'd have to get out for them. And,
this is why I always sit on the inside.
I don't sit on the inside because I pee a lot.
Oh. That's why I'm, like, always dehydrated on flights. So, one time, like, I had, like, a really terrible plane landing. And it was so terrible. We were, like, bouncing in the air and then dropping, like, 100 miles and then bouncing in the air and then dropping. It felt like a roller coaster, but that's bad because we were on a plane, you know? It was just terrible. And then TSA yelled at me once because I couldn't lift the luggage off of the little, like, platform rolly thing fast enough. But, like, I was, like, a 10-year-old, like, maybe 11-ish kid, and I was, like, trying to pull this, like, 50-pound suitcase off, and I was like... So, it was not a fun day, because they yelled at me, and I was, like, on the brink of tears. I don't know if they saw me, like, almost cry or something, but I hope they did. So they can feel what they've done to me.
I always, for some reason, would bring a book on flights. But I know I will never read a book on a flight. There's too many TVs and movie shows for me to actually open a book. And also, I don't read on top of it, so, like, why?
Honestly, like, I had a Kindle thing. I didn't pull it out once during any of the flights I've ever been on. It was just in my bag.
Another thing is, like, both of us can't sleep on planes, so we're just, like, bratty children that are, like, consumed by the television.
Yeah, and my mom was like, rest your eyes.
Yeah, and my mom would be like, turn it off. And I'd turn it off for, like, 5 minutes and then get mad. I'd be like, I can't sleep. It's really fine. And, like, the entire plane will be, like, pitch black. Except there's just, like, one blue screen with a child drooling in front of
And it's, like, it's not even that I can't, like... the thing is, there's no, like, actually good movies that I want to watch there either. Like, they say they have such, like, a crafted collection of great movies, and it's, like...
The Jungle Book.
Yeah, it's not even The Jungle Book. There's no Disney movies on there. There was, like, Liv and Maddie, so one time I watched Liv and Maddie a lot. That's how I watch all of my Disney shows. That's how I know about these Disney shows. But then, like... Yeah, so I just watched Jumanji, like, 5 times, like, the plane going to Taiwan and the plane coming back, I found Jumanji again, so I watched it again. And again and again until I got bored of it, which was, like, 5 minutes, and then I get bored again, and I played Jumanji again. So I just watched Jumanji the whole time, and I was just like, yeah, Jumanji, let's go. So now I could probably, like, recite the whole script at this point.
Oh yeah, and like whenever you would get bored of your show, if you look through the cracks, you could watch the other person's show with them.
Oh my gosh. You know how some people, they will like stick their arms like into like the between the seats? or something. Or they'll stick something between the seats. I think some people put like water bottles or something, and it's like sometimes you'll see like children's hands grabbing through the seats, and I'm like,
oh god.
It's the most terrifying thing in the world.
Or like whenever it's going from like nighttime to the daytime, and someone would like crack open it and
the window,
and it just be blinding because it's like nighttime normally, and it's just like
yeah, because they turn off all the lights in the cabin for people to sleep, and then like just one person like after like about like 5-6 hours, people start getting restless because you can't really sleep there. Pretty sure that's a universal thing. Mm-hmm. So they start opening windows and stuff. And then, like, you just, like, out of the corner of your eye, because, like, at that point, I'm trying to sleep, because I'm like, oh, this is so boring. I can't watch Jumanji forever. So, I'm, like, laying my head down, and I'm trying to sleep, and then, just, like, out of the corner of my eye, I just see...
I know, it's so bright and blinding.
Because it's clouds and stuff, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. Back to sophomore year. Remember my beautiful and memorable flight, okay? I forgot to mention, there was a baby on the plane.
No.
That thing would not stop crying the entire flight. It would be like... It would do that non-stop for like 3 hours. And this little brat would be like... And then the entire plane would groan every time that baby would start crying. But, like, I get it.
Yeah.
But, like, don't bring children on planes. They should have, like, a separate compartment.
Yeah.
Put the
soundproof compartment for babies.
Heck yeah.
You know how people, like, they'll start... And then the thing is, like, I always start to try to go to sleep while other people are, like, starting to wake up. And they're starting to hand out the little sandwiches and ice cream thing. Those sandwiches always smelled, like, terrible. I think it's because of, like, the altitude thing. But, like, I'd eat the ice cream and the sandwich would just smell terrible to me.
Food on planes smells so bad.
Yeah.
It's
like, when you see them, like, make it, like, on Earth. I mean, like, on the ground, And then it looks appetizing. And but the thing is, like, when you go up and stuff, something happens with your taste and stuff, so it doesn't taste as good.
Oh.
So I'm sure, like, the airplane food tastes pretty good.
I doubt it. With the way it smells, no.
Maybe.
Never.
Maybe that's because the entire airplane smells like baby wipes. God. And, like, disinfectant.
Yup. And then, lastly, just to, like, bless you guys with this tidbit of information. My grandpa. I sleep with my grandfather. And he has a TV in his room, and he play it for background noise. Okay? Mm-hmm. And... late night plane TV shows where the plane will crash or combust in the air was always playing when I was trying to go to bed. Not fun for like a 7-year-old child who is trying to go back to America in like 2 months. I was deathly afraid. I was so convinced that my plane was gonna like blow up in the middle of the sky.
I was like...
so convinced.
I don't think I've ever been scared of planes. I'm like deathly scared of heights though. Like I remember in 5th grade, you know how we all go to a camp or something? I wanted to go on the zip line. I didn't go the first time, and then they let me go again, like just try again with my mom, and I couldn't get off, and then I just walked down the stairs crying my eyes out, and everybody's like, are you good? Are you good? Are you okay? And I was like, I was just crying my eyes out, but then when I get on planes, I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
We flying.
Yeah, we're flying. I can watch Jumanji. No big deal. Honestly, all I did was just watch Jumanji.
And there's no shame in that.
Yeah, no shame in that.
And that concludes our 4th episode of Table for Two. We hope you guys enjoyed
this episode full of very interesting stories. We hope some of them made you laugh.
Hopefully. We tried our best.
We tried our best to share the best experiences we've had in airports and on airplanes.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next week, we're going to be talking about confidence and insecurities. So we hope you join us next Wednesday. I'm Viveka.
And I'm Amy.
And we're signing off.
Check this.
You can find our episode credits, contact/feedback forms, socials, and YouTube channel all at linktree.com/tablefor2pod, which you can find in our episode and Spotify bio. See you next Wednesday with a brand new episode.